Yeah, hi traders. Welcome to the week ahead, and what a couple of weeks it's been. Um, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. We do understand that all information in this video is for educational purposes only, and the information in this video should not be taken and used as financial advice. By watching this video, you agree not to hold the producers of this video series liable for any of the information shared. You also agree to accept all and full responsibility for any decision you might make regarding your trading or your investment choices. Trading instruments such as currencies, indices, has a high degree of risk, and the high degree of leverage that comes with trading in the forex market means you can lose large amounts or all of the capital you choose to invest in trading. If you have any questions regarding trading in the forex market, you should seek the advice of a registered financial advisor. Just before we start, let's take a quick look at the financial calendar. Already we've seen the New Zealand drop the cash rates 8 o'clock this morning to 0.25%. And there'll be a Reserve Bank New Zealand statement that's out now. Here in New Zealand, we've taken some drastic measures. We've closed our borders. Anybody coming into the nation has to go into self quarantine for 14 days before they can do anything. And there's harsh penalties for anyone that doesn't. So the virus is really having a huge effect on the global economies, and we need to be really careful. In saying all that, if you have a sound strategy and if you have a sound way of trading where you keep your capital protected and you keep your losses small and you stay disciplined and you don't chase the market, you can still take opportunity of some really good trades. And we will see that as we go through the pairs. There is year on year inflation data coming out, or production data coming out for China. That will be interesting because the virus would have a huge impact on their readings. Later in the week, we have a lot of inflation data for Canada year on year, and these are going to be crucial. The year on years are usually pretty important, and they can have quite an effect in the market at times. And then we come to the Fed statement and economic projections. So that's going to be important to see how the market reacts to that. We have a federal funds rate predicting another 50 basis points. So they're predicting that they'll lower it. GDP quarter on quarter will be quite significant for New Zealand. Monetary statement for Japan and BOJ press conference, not sure what they're going to do. And we finished there's the employment and unemployment change equivalent of non-farm payrolls for Australia too here. So there's a bit of high impacting news, and in this volatile market, it's going to be interesting to see how the market reacts to these things. It'll be interesting to see where New Zealand dollar opens up after this announcement. I find it interesting that they made the announcement before the market was open. Market's open in another 15 minutes. So let's get right into the pairs. I'm not going to necessarily do every single one. I'm going to concentrate probably on the main ones. I'll skip through them, but you can come to the US dollar index first. You can see that the US dollar climbed last week, and we saw some declines in currencies against the US dollar. Declines with the CAD, USD CAD, Euro USD, Pound USD, New Zealand USD, and Australian USD. So keep an eye on that. I can't give you any reason why that rose, except that it just did. Market sentiment decided that it was better to have their money in the US dollar. So they went in. Now, where to from there? Keep your eye on key levels. This is a weekly trend line. I'm quite happy to actually take that off for now. It's still in an uptrend in my book. We won't spend too much time in that, but just wanted to let you see the correlation between that and the US dollar trading pairs. Let's go to the Aussie CAD. Just simple levels. If technicals, this was always a key trade at the beginning of the week. I talked about it last week, and the break of the trend line and the break of this level, that was a trade that you could have had technically, depending on the way that you're trading. If your technicals are working, then trust them. If they're not, change them. Aussie Swiss fell then again. Now this is historical lows down here. Not going to waste a lot of time in this. A number of traders have been going, we're going to get a bottom and we're going to hang on to this. And but look, we're down past historical lows. For 2005, we've never been as low as this. This can continue to come down. How far? As far as the market wants to go. I don't think the bottoms are here yet, even though we've had a little bit of an upsurge in some stocks and indices and a few bits and pieces. I don't think we've found the bottom yet in the market. So be wary. Aussie JPY, again, just sticking to basics, the break of the trend line and coming down. That's the monthly chart. You can see that we've just kept coming down this month so far, right in here. The month before, there's been a decline. And that's because the yen is a safe haven, and you're seeing the market switch from risk on, risk off, risk on, risk off. But overall, in the big picture, there's been a decline in the yen pairs. And we'll just go back into the daily chart here, and you can see that just simple. Here, 70 was the key level last week, and it's come lower. You can trade this if you're careful, just really small stop losses. Keep your risk-reward ratios low, and that way you can let your winners just run. Aussie, New Zealand again, broke key levels, another little trade. All of these are little bits and pieces you can pick up if you're sensible. There's 154 pips in there. It's not all doom and gloom in terms of trading right now. You just have to have care. Now, the Australian, I'm in again with the break of this on. I have pending orders sitting under here. So looks we finished really well. Looking for that either to go sideways or continue. But I just wanted to give you a quick look at the monthly, and here we go. Here's the historical lows down here. If we get below these tails here, it's easy. I can quite see this currency coming all the way down here under the present circumstances. I'm not saying it's going to, but don't have a belief that it can't, because it's at the lowest it's been for 17 years. The market will always tell you, let it confirm your analysis, let it confirm your opinion, let it confirm your prediction. So that's a trade that I'm in right now, but there's no new trades. CAD Swiss is just went again. I mean, this is down below historical lows. And people have been saying, all right, we've got to buy from here and it's going up. No, it's not. This can go as low as the market wants it to. And I don't know how far it can go, but you can trust your technicals. I don't trade this south because it's too expensive as a carry trade. JPY had a little run down all the way down here. Now it's spiked back up this month, but have a look at it on the daily. It's just locked in this range at the moment. So I'm not prepared to trade this until I get a close above this key area of 80. Swiss, Japan, two safe haven currencies. The Swiss is very strong at the moment, so I'm not trading this pair. two neutral currencies. I need divergence between weak and strong currencies. Okay, Euro AUD, it's hit a key area of resistance. The big question is, can it go up here? We've seen the euro been strengthening over the last couple of weeks. It's been really interesting. The euro USD and the euro CAD have actually weakened against their counterparts in the last couple of days of the week. So it's going to be interesting to see what the euro AUD does. Maybe just locked in this range, but there's no trade here. Here's the euro CAD. The break of this level, you could have happily entered this, and I will look at it again at the opening of the market. But what I will be looking for, you know, I don't know where it would have come. It could have spiked up by the open of the market. But if it's still working its way down here, if it's been doing that over the weekend, I'll be looking for a retest of this. And I'm watching this to see if I can get a trade back down into this area here. So it's number one on my watch list for this week. Euro Swiss, still absolutely no trade. There's a daily trend line. There's no, I want to take this long, but I don't see that I'm going to find the bottom just yet. I don't think this turmoil is over. I think we could easily see some more weakness right across the board. We'll just have to wait and see. Nobody knows how it's going to play out. So be careful. And if you're going to try and take a bottom, make sure you pick a really good area where it could be a bottom and go down to your smaller time frames, look for a bullish signal and take a very low risk reward ratio. Euro pound shot up. And I did not take this. I really do want to find the top actually, but right now it's not giving me one, and I don't expect there's going to be one anytime soon. Let's just go take a look at the big picture. We won't spend too much time on it, but you can see how messy it is up here. So we are getting near some historical highs, and the higher it gets, the more I'm going to be patient and waiting for an opportunity to take this south, because eventually it will run out of steam. I think the euro sector is in quite a mess, and I think that we're going to see some weakness in the euro. So this is a key level here, and I'm just going to wait. No trade at present. Euro JPY, very similar, and just watching these levels. We saw a move up on Friday. Be interesting to see what's happened here. I just this is kind of going to look like maybe a range bound kind of thing. I would take this out. It's a pretty busy chart, but this is your key level here. I just unless the yen really begins to strengthen, I don't think we're going to see a move up. Euro NZD. Saw this massive spike up here early last week, and then it pulled back off, and it tried to go again, and we're just at a key level. This number here at 1.85, that's the key area for me, and just looking to see what happens if this area holds. Possibility of chance to trade this back down into this range here. That's worth trading. I'd need to have a bearish signal. Euro USD, I'm in this trade at the moment. Where to from here is anybody's guess. I've got my profits protected, so I can't lose, but I'm looking for this to actually come a little bit lower. But real simple stuff, a break of the trend line, and I like using the daily charts because it's safer to base my strategies around. We get below 111 on this move here, it opens up 110 and possibly 109. Nothing in the pound pairs at the moment, and I expecting some real volatility. There was a surge up here last week at the beginning of the week. Now we find ourselves back down at where the breakout was. So right now, be very careful with pound pairs and the negotiations that are going on still around the Brexit and coupled with the coronavirus. Very hard to pick a winner. Pound Swissy, I really are looking to get long on this. I did have a go, and you can see this month's just been a very strong move down. So last week we've just seen a move down. Now on this candle here, I was wondering whether this was going to be a bottom. I was looking at the weekly chart, looking for maybe a bottom down here, and I did go down to a lower time frame, and if you come in here and have a look, you'll see what I mean. Earlier in the week, just let me go back here, bear with me for a moment, guys. Oopsie, don't want to move that. But going back earlier in the week, there was this, you can see it here, there was this, it actually started to move up, and I went down to a lower time frame looking for it to break this daily trend line, and I only risked about 25 pips, but then the candle went back and finished much lower on me, so I lost about 50 pips in that, or a little less. I did the same on the pound JPY. We'll go to that next, and you can see this wick up here. So I pulled in, a few pips off this, and then it just ended up way back down here again. But the risk reward was low enough that it didn't damage me, and that's the point that I'm making. If you're going to think you found a bottom, just be careful. Go to a lower time frame and just have a look at that on and see if you can, get in early or get a hint. That's about the only thing I can suggest that we can do in these trying times. Okay, I see the market's just open now. So be very careful. I just around about the just before the London Open, there was a chance to get long, and I managed to get a few pips before it came down, but again, a very small risk reward. I got a few nickels and dimes out of it, but those were, just 2 attempts I tried to see if I could pick the bottom, and I didn't. So this is today's candle here, and that was Friday, so I managed to get a little bit of that spike. Pound ZE, just more of the same. For me, I need to get a close above here. I'm just very reluctant to touch the pound pairs at the moment, just simply because of the volatility, not only with the coronavirus, but the negotiations are going on between the ECB and the UK, and Boris Johnson's is just as likely to tell them to go and get stuffed, and it'll be a hard Brexit. And if that scenario happens, coupled with the coronavirus, I think we could see a lot of weakness in the pound. If they actually come out, which is highly unlikely, with a really good agreement, then the pound would probably be a little bit more steadier. Pound CAD we haven't seen, but again, here's the move. Good bearish signal, these candles through here. I closed below this key area of 176, and you can do things like I've said. steep incline. There's usually going to be some sort of a pullback, but look, it dropped down through here. You just enter in here and you can get all this. And now it looks like it may well be holding. We'll have to wait and see if this area holds, but currently right now, no trade. Pound USD, the same. I'm in this one. Took this break up here, and it may be stopping in here. I've got my profits protected, so not too concerned. First position is off, and this here will let us know, you know, whether it's going to carry on. Is this level going to carry on? I mean, we could get a bit of a sideways movement going here before we get another move down, or it could turn and we need to look for a reversal. NZD CAD, simple stuff here. I was a few weeks ago looking for a move up, and it started to go up here, but it stopped out at 87, a key level of resistance, and then it's just worked its way down last week, and particularly on Friday here, we ended up back down around here again. And, if you had, I didn't trade this, but again, it's just simple stuff. There's a trend line, there's key level it was bouncing off, and that was another support shelf there. So as soon as you got a close below there, you just needed to pop a penny order in there, and away you went. New Zealand Swiss made a move down, no trade. This is historical lows, I think. Let's just have a quick look at this, see if there's any more room, but I'm pretty sure we are at historical lows. Yes, we are. So we've gone lower, and this could go lower. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So don't fall in love with your opinions until the market confirms that your opinions are right. Righto, nothing on the New Zealand JPY. Looks like it's heading sideways. Here's historical low down here. Looking to see if it can break this outer trend line, and if we got to close above 67 here, and we saw strength in the New Zealand dollar, I would consider dipping my toe in the water, as long as I can get a very good entry and a low risk, protecting my capital. New Zealand USD. Wow, maybe I've made a bit of money over the weekend. Looks good. I think this is historically low too, so I have no problem. I don't know that it's the lowest, but I have no problem with the potential of this moving down into here. So the big question is it going to bottom here out at 60? That's the number that I'm looking at. This number here is this going to be where it holds? It broke that and pulled back, so we just need to wait and see what happens. This was the trade just in here with a pending order. Simple stuff again, a break of the trend line, and we'll just change this. But you just pop your pen. Oopsie, you just pop your pending order in here, and away you go. This was the key level of 63, which I was looking to get broken. It broke. I waited for the retest because I really wanted it to clear here. Once it retested, I just popped in. I could see the pin bar, this coming down early in the week, and I just had pending orders under there, and the rest is history, as they say. USD CAD had a massive move up. Now it is real key levels here, and we need to be careful where to from here. Is anybody's guess. Let's go out and have a look at the weekly. You can see the move up last week. There we go. So you can see that this level up here is pretty critical, I would think. We're getting near historical highs. Be very reticent to, at least early in the week, take a trade. I'd like to wait for the Canadian inflation data to come out, and then we'll see. Maybe we'll get a bearish signal and there could be a trade in the offering coming down. USD Swissy, that moved lower again on Friday. I am looking to buy this, but at the moment I'm going to wait, and I'm just going to see what the US dollar is going to do over the next couple of days. And I am going to look for a buy from down in here somewhere. Now, if it wants to come lower, that's fine. I'll just buy as low as I can get. But we're getting near historical lows again down in here as well. USD Japan had a bit of a move up. We can just change that again. But it wasn't. It didn't last. That was the move up on Friday. It started on Tuesday, came off the bottom here, retest, and then went up 108. It's pulled up here, and there's a support structure in here at 108. You can see that. And so now me probably retesting somewhere down in here, or what's that, 105, there's 106 just in there roughly. So it could do a retest and then carry on up depending on what the US dollar is going to do. Trump's announced a state of emergency, so that'll have a bearing on it. But just wait either for a retest and a bounce off here, or a retest here and possibly more movement up. Gold, the mystery. It's broken 1550. It's down, sitting now at the open. It's not open at the moment, but it looks like it's going to open around 1530, somewhere around there. One of the reasons that gold is selling off is because those hedge funds and investors that have lost a lot of money in the stock market, they will be selling their gold to help keep liquidity and cash flow in their businesses. So that's why gold has taken, it's not done the safe haven thing. Everybody thought it was going to go charging up past 1700. It has not. So I am looking for a bottom, but if I get a break of 1500, and it's a long way to go, that's my next key level. It's as simple as that. I'm just going to put a line in the sand there. It almost touched that on Friday. Now I'm looking for some sort of this level to hold, and I can buy it from here. If I get a close below here, I will chance my hand, providing I get something like this up here with a very small risk reward ratio. Silver followed suit. I think that once we find a bottom, and it could take months to find a bottom, it could be next week, it could be this week, but I think we've got a few more weeks of pretty a lot of uncertainty. So it might not be over yet, but silver's just meandered down and sitting at 14. I let it come down as low as it can, because once this is over, and we will get through it and it will be over, there's going to be some wonderful opportunities to make some good money. So there you have it. Hopefully short and sweet, and hopefully we've made some sense of it. Take care out there, traders. Protect your capital. Don't do anything stupid. Don't be tempted to chase the market. If you're trying to pick a bottom, do it really, really wisely, and make sure your risk is really low when trying to pick the bottoms. And we'll talk to you in the chat room. Stay careful. Just stay safe out there. Protect your capital, protect your profits, and we'll talk to you in the chat room. Cheers.